Okay. Switch this chat over to 75. Cool. Download Zoom. Awesome. And it's 2:15. Right, welcome to module number 11 for Security Plus. I want to make a quick reminder that this class is geared to the 501, which is expiring soon by the end of the semester. So if you're thinking of getting Security Plus certified under the 501, definitely do it before June, or I think it's before May, actually. So before the semester is over, get certified, because the 601 is already here and it will take effect in the summer as the only Security Plus cert. And that means all the content that we've covered so far will now become old and won't necessarily match you up with the new cert. I am already in process of writing the updated class, so just want to give you a heads up of that. So with that, let's jump into the course. As always, a random picture. And let's jump in. This week is all about authentication credentials. Starting with what you know. Passwords. Passwords provide weak protection as there are several attacks that can be launched against them. The primary weakness centers on humans. Are you surprised at that? Passwords place a heavy load on human memory in remembering long and complex passwords, which are difficult for users to memorize. Users have to remember multiple passwords on different accounts. Passwords should be unique to each account, and some policies dictate passwords should be changed every 40 to 60 days. To this end, users take shortcuts like appending or replacing characters while keeping the same password, like password 1, password 2. In most password-based attacks, the attacker attempts to get a copy of the hashed passwords, then use various methods to figure out what the password was. Brute force is the slowest yet the most thorough method. Windows uses LAN Manager and New Technology LAN Manager, LM and NTLM, to hash the password. As you saw in Module 4, it is not secure, yet it's used in all current Windows systems. Attackers don't need to crack NTLM. They can pretend to be the user and send the hash to the remote system to be authenticated, otherwise known as pass the hash. Passwords can also be solved by mask attacks, which uses placeholders for characters in certain positions of the password. For example, some passwords can have like a U and then a couple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 L's and then 3 D's, which could be used to solve a password secure 123 with a capital S and the number of letters at the end. This means that the computer has to guess less characters for each spot and find it quickly. A rule attack is even more focused than mask. Rule attacks conduct statistical analysis on the stolen passwords to create masks that break the largest number of passwords. And you can get access to NVIDIA cards from GCP to run things like Hashcat. Dictionary attacks create digests of common words and compare them to stolen digest files. Dictionary attacks tend to be successful because they use simple passwords. Rainbow tables are large, and by large, I mean terabyte large, with pre-generated data to break passwords. Though they can take a long time to create, rainbow tables crack passwords in greatly reduced time. I have a set of rainbow tables If you ever want a copy when we're back in person, you can. You just have to bring a 12 terabyte drive. You can also make them. That's totally fine. The current best practice is to use password managers so that users have separate passwords for each account they have, generating passwords with 20 characters and be completely random. Password digest should be protected with secure algorithms like bcrypt or PBKFD2 with salts to randomize the plaintext password so that if two users have the same password, the hashes will not match. Now, here are some fun facts that all attackers know about passwords. The average password ranges from 7 to 9 characters in length. The average English word is 5 characters long. The average person knows between 50,000 and 150,000 words. There is a 50% chance a user's password will contain one or more vowels. Women prefer personal names in their passwords. Men prefer hobbies. The most likely to be used symbols are the tilde, the exclamation point, the @, the pound, the $sign, the %, ampersand, asterisk, and question mark. If it's a number, it's usually 1 or 2, sequential, and will likely be at the end. If there are more than one number, it will usually be sequential or personally relevant. If there's a capital letter, it's usually at the beginning, followed by a vowel. 60% of people only use 1 to 3 passwords for all online accounts. 1 in 9 people have a password based on the common top 500 list. Western countries use lowercase passwords, and Eastern countries prefer digits. So if your password matches any one of those descriptions, just know the world already knows and has masks and rules for them. Your password is not secure. Moving on to what you have. A security token creates a one-time password, OTP, a code that can be used for a limited amount of time. Tokens can either be hardware-based or software-based. A time-based one-time password, TOTP, changes every 30 to 60 seconds. This is most commonly found in password managers like Google Authenticator. HMAC-based one-time password, HTOP, change when an event occurs, such as entering a PIN into a keypad. Smart cards use an integrated circuit chip that holds information that can be used for authentication. These are contactless cards, like proximity cards, that can also fit this role. These cards take advantage of certificates to verify the user attempting to log in. We also have biometrics. Biometrics uses a person's unique physical characteristics for authentication. Biometrics cover retinal scans, fingerprint scans, voice recognition, iris scanning, and facial recognition. Biometrics in and of itself is not foolproof, as every place where a user will authenticate must have the scanner, and genuine users can be rejected while imposters can be accepted. Also, if there is a change to that person, let's say they get a paper cut, then biometrics may not work. If you get a paper cut on your finger and then you try to scan, it won't let you through because your fingerprint doesn't match. Or if you're sick, your retinal scan may not work because your eye won't be the same size and shape as it was when it was scanned. Behavioral biometrics is otherwise known as something you do. This type of authentication has you type something on the screen rather than remember a password. By matching your typing rhythm with the one in record, the computer can authenticate you. There is also geolocation. Having a device like a cell phone verify your physical location can prevent an attacker from successfully logging in if they're outside the permitted area. This does require users to be okay with providing their geolocation to the organization in order to log in, which can raise privacy issues. Federated identity management allows users to have one username and password and be able to use multiple systems without logging into each time. Single sign-on, OAuth, OpenID Connect, and Shibboleth are all Federation system technologies. These are an attempt to provide security and convenience at the same time. So convenient because the user has to log in once, and then everywhere else that they go, they will be automatically signed in. The problem, of course, is if at any point a user is compromised, then everything else becomes compromised. So setting a proper password policy will prevent passwords from being solved. And in the case that password hashes are breached, they can be changed quickly to minimize the attacker's progress. Things like remembering 24 passwords, expiration after 90 days, minimum 1 day, minimum length of 12, complex passwords, and disable reverse encryption are some settings available in Windows. But signing in, authenticating is always a challenge because attackers will find new ways around it. And it's up to us to ensure that those who are authorized can log in and those who are not authorized cannot. And if someone unauthorized is able to get in, we can kick them out quickly. Any questions? Okay. The work ahead this week is to complete rooms within the subject. I provided 2 as an example. You can find a third. Then there is this separate item. Talk to 3 people and convince them to use stronger passwords in whatever fashion works, like a scripted message, a conversation, text, call, whatever. Inform them about what practical solutions are available. Make a record like a short report of what the conversation was like, their reactions, and were you able to. Now, the whole point of this assignment isn't for you to just create 3 people out of thin air and create the conversation and just turn in the assignment. It's really a way of talking to your community. There's way too many people who need to be secure and are not taking the proper steps. And one of the best ways to ensure that at least our communities, our friends, our circle is even a little more secure is if we do our part in talking to others and ensuring that they're more secure than how they already are. So again, please don't take that second part as just something to do, just something to make up quickly and be over with. That's not the point. The point is to be security professionals in helping our community be more secure. Any questions on the work for this week? Awesome. Because that is, make sure, yeah. Yeah, so these 2 do work. I just tested these links earlier. Crack the hash and break it. Find a third that is just like it, and that'll be your 3 Hack Me rooms for the week. with the module quiz. That'll be all the work for this week. See you, no questions.